Today we saw two New Yorkers are accused of a murder in rural Alabama while on their way back to college, and one of their cousins, an inexperienced, loudmouth lawyer not accustomed to the rules and manners, comes to defend them.
It's my cousin Vinny.
Oh, what else did we see?
We saw Hangover Part III.
To see if I'm still free. Focus on the pain. The only thing that's real.
Hi, I'm Richard Buckner.
Kristen Clark.
Brandon Kaiser.
Brian Haas. Josh Justin. Kid Gilmickle.
There's a lot to see today. But anyways, we saw Hangover Part 3. It is directed by Todd Phillips, who has done all the Hangover movies and Old School and probably some other stuff. It stars Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach Galifianakis, Justin Bartha, Ken Jeong, John Goodman, and Melissa McCarthy. And we saw it, and we're going to tell you what we thought about it. And I'm going to start us off. So, Hangover Part 2, not my favorite movie, not a movie I particularly claim to like, but it was okay. There was a couple funny things in it, but overall it was gross more than funny, and it was really unnecessary. It was the same movie as Hangover Part 1. So going into this movie, I really didn't know what to expect. The first trailer made it look like it was going to be something different. The second trailer, not as much. So I kind of went into this clean slate, figuring let's see what we get. And unfortunately, I don't think we got the same movie. I think there were some decent enough differences in the story. No one blacked out and didn't, remember the night before. None of that happened again, at least. No one was roofied, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Spoilers. Or fluorine.
I don't think that's a spoiler, because it's not.
Or fluorine.
Yeah, or fluorine, but yeah. So that didn't happen this time, so that's good.
Jeffrey.
It showed change, right? It wasn't the same movie again. However, I think the joke is old now. I think whatever their formulaic joke telling or the way they are trying to be funny isn't as funny anymore. Yeah, I think it was, 5 years ago or 6 years ago or whatever when the first one came out, because it was something different and kind of new, and then they kind of killed it with the second one, and now this one just kind of sits there being an okay movie. It's kind of funny in parts. You get more of chuckle laughs, I would call them, rather than laughing, crazily and, no ruffles, I guess, in this movie. So, sorry. But yeah, I think a lot of the jokes are kind of trying too hard, and maybe aren't necessarily funny all the time. But I will say probably the funniest part of the movie is probably during the credits. Which I guess is kind of what people said about, the second one? Or was that the first one too? Anyone?
Second one. Yeah.
Anyone?
Second one, middle of the second one.
Okay. So anyways, I thought it was okay. I didn't think there were any major problems with it. I didn't feel like, oh man, this is so terrible to watch. I thought it was kind of entertaining. I guess it does kind of wrap everything up. They do some clever things to tie it into the first two movies and typical plot points that we've seen in the past. So
They do try to make it seem like it was almost intentional and planned ahead of time.
yeah. But overall, I think it was an okay movie. I don't think you have any severe need to run to the theater and watch it. But, check it out if you've seen the first two. Interested to see how it ends. And if you really enjoyed the first two, just for closure. So that's pretty much what I thought.
I love closure.
Yep, Kit is a big closure whore. So, yeah.
So I watch a lot of bad things.
Alright. So anyways, that's pretty much what I got. I'm sure there'll be more discussed as we go on. So, Kit, you want to take it away? What did you think of it?
Well, as before the movie started, I was talking to Brian and Josh about my Oceans theory, which is pretty much in Oceans, like movies. Ocean 11, it was in Vegas. Oceans 2, they went out overseas, and then Oceans 3, they came right back to Vegas.
In the top 10 video.
Yeah, and I really thought this was going to be. And really didn't spend a lot of time in Vegas as I thought they were. And at points, I was kind of going like, okay, when are you guys really going to kind of kick it up here? I'm not sure. really kind of cut into more of the interesting story, more into the comedy, like such things. And I was entertained. I enjoyed it. Like I like how they kind of tied the movie to the first one originally by bringing up the whole thing about they set the motion of events from their first Hangover, which kind of for me felt like that's why you could still call it a Hangover movie because we're still feeling that whole butterfly effect from it.
Well, and it's the same characters and.
Yeah, well, other than just the same. I mean, like a Hangover movie. Like the name Hangover, like if there wasn't a hangover involved.
Because there wasn't really a blackout.
So there wasn't any blackout situations really, so like why would you even still call it the Hangover movie?
Okay.
So like just like Highlander 2, like
Don't ever talk about Highlander 2.
Dude, I swear we've had this conversation.
Exactly, because Highlander 2 was awful. But anyway, I enjoyed it actually. I thought it was funny for me. Well, don't give me that look.
I'm just looking at you.
I don't know. But
Alright.
it scares me every time.
I'll be over here.
I laughed quite a bit. Ken Jeong, I thought did a fantastic job. I like the Charles character.
I wonder what kid thought John did a great job.
I think he did fine, but I think this character at this point is
Over the top.
getting to the more annoying part than funny.
But it's the
Like,
last one.
It was funny at first,
He had to
but
keep it going, yeah. He seemed a lot more serious in the first one.
He's Hollywood's
It's true.
go-to
Well, I
Asian
feel that was
actor.
probably anger.
no, I like Ken Jeong. I think Ken Jeong's awesome.
Well, no,
Senior Chang.
He's like,
right?
Data was in the 80s, and then we had, who did we have in like the early 90s? Like, but basically Hollywood always has that go-to Asian comic relief actor. In
On
the movie.
TV, it's Reggie Lee.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that guy is like, he's like the
Or
current.
BD Wong.
BD Wong,
BD
there you
Wong.
go.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was in like late 90s.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But- But yeah, no, he's like the go-to, and he plays kind of like the same character.
Jackie Chan.
No, shut up. I'm
I'm
just saying this.
Let's
What's his
move
name?
on from this.
John.
Anyway,
Ken
yeah,
Jeong.
Ken Jeong.
He's like the go-to go-to Asian actor of the now right now.
That's true.
He's like in every comedy movie. He's like, they need a Chinese guy. He plays like the same Chinese guy in every movie.
No, when he's the king in Role Models,
Just like
it's
me,
very
though.
different than Mr. Chow.
I
Good
still
point,
gotta keep
but-
creepy,
Alright.
gay sort of vibe from him.
That's true. He does do that often.
He's
That's
usually
kind of
he's
his
an
go-to
Asian.
joke.
I'm not
He's like the
gonna run
go-to
this out.
Asian.
I'm not gonna run this out. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Pretty much, I liked how they, like you said, they changed the whole premise of the movie. Not so much the whole like, oh, we got to figure out what we did the night before
Yeah.
and solve that. They actually had like like a situation that they had to get themselves out of and solve it like that. It's not so like, oh God, what happened? It's like they knew what happened. So I like that bit. I kind of get tired of the Doug getting kidnapped or not being a part of the group. Especially when they keep on calling him a member of the wolf pack. I think like he should be able to like, because like the second movie what I expect him to say was like, all right, everyone empty your pockets. And he's like, what? It's like, same drill, it's the drill we did last time. Figure out where the hell fuck you were. I thought that would have been a nice kind of thing for the second movie if they had done that. And they didn't even, they
Kind of
decided to
bring them more into the fold.
Yeah.
Like this is what
For
happened.
the last
with your
one,
They
band
still kept
party.
him out of it.
For the last one, because I mean he's kind of like got the second least amount of screen time.
Yeah, he's essentially fucking Princess Peach. He gets kidnapped and then Mario has to go fucking save him. That's what happens.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, that's weird.
It's
Kid's
kind of sad.
I get it.
Kid's trying to prove some sort of
Nice
nerd.
conclusion.
No,
shit
it's
going on here.
that's what I was thinking. I was trying to think of something that he
Okay.
would like reference, but
Yeah.
Okay.
that's pretty much all he is, and that was kind
He's
of.
the damsel in distress in all three movies.
I felt they really tied it off.
Oh,
Like,
I don't think he was in the second one. Wasn't it the Jamie Chung's brother or whatever?
okay, yeah, I know, but I mean, just
Okay,
like,
so-
I mean, yeah, he's not a part of the action. Like Peach wasn't part of the action in the second one either.
She was getting some action.
Anyway.
That wasn't a Mario game.
That was a dream. Got it. Anyway.
No, that wasn't a Mario game. It was repurposed as a Mario
I
game
know.
in the US.
I'm aware.
You can't
I'm aware of
count
this. I'm
Mario
aware of
2.
this. Anyway, I thought they tied it up real well. Like to kind of finish it off. I really don't think they should make another one.
No, I'm
They
glad they're
Don't
not.
think they will. And I honestly, more than just the story, I really enjoyed the characters and their interactions between each other. That was my major draw to the movies. So, well, yeah.
In terms of what you're saying with the characters, though, I found myself kind of now just, I don't know, feeling sad for Alan more than laughing at him. Like, at this point, it's kind of like,
Well,
I
that's
get it.
kind of what you're
I
supposed
get
to do,
it.
isn't
It's like creepy and weird, but at this point, I'm kind of like, oh.
That- I
man,
guess
this
that was
is not
kinda-
that funny anymore.
That was kind of the
That's kind of
thing.
the vibe
Yeah.
I just got from a lot
Yeah,
of
this,
this.
you're probably supposed to get that feeling a bit.
You think so?
Probably.
So it's a
Yeah,
comedy,
They
though,
focused a lot on Alan.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he kind of,
Yeah.
you know, had
Had
that
his
heart to heart
moment?
with
Had
Ken John, yeah. With Chow, yeah.
Yeah,
His moment.
you know, creepy, weird.
That's what it was all about.
Feel sorry for
And
him.
found a reason to change.
But yeah,
He finally got his shit together.
yeah.
Okay,
That-
so
that's what I
all you
thought.
wanted to say?
I enjoyed it.
Okay. nice capper. So,
All right.
you're
So,
right.
what my initial thoughts was that the first Hangover movie came out of nowhere. Kind of came out of nowhere, at least to me. Saw it, enjoyed it. It was something new. And the second one, you could tell they realized the first one did really well. They just wanted to go build on that success and didn't change anything, and it showed. You know, you enjoyed it, you were having fun, and then you're like, this is the same thing.
Let's just change the setting.
Yeah, they changed the setting,
Yeah.
nothing new happened, same formula. It's boring to an audience. This third one, I'm glad they realized that they couldn't do that a third time. Decided they were going to wrap it up, had some actual story, some development, and that you realize this is it. They've told the story, it's over now. So that's one big thing I wanted to add. I did like that the characters got a little bit of development, especially with Alan. It was definitely the same for the first two. And by the end of this movie, you saw that he had grown, which was nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everything else, it's kind of just, yeah, that was a movie. We saw it.
Did you think it was that funny? Like,
It was different humor, which was nice. So it was better than the second one in that regard. But the first one was better because it came out of nowhere.
it was
It
something.
was-
The first one was like
something-
just
it was
full of,
different.
it was
Yeah.
full of jokes. Like
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
one was just like an actual straight up comedy full of like crazy shit happening and jokes. This one kind of was a different tone.
I somehow think that part of that came to do with circumstance also. Going to see the first two movies, okay, this may be just us because we saw it at noon on Saturday and it was pretty empty. And so that maybe kind of takes away a little bit from it because when you're with a big group of people like all in the crowd and laughing and having a good time, there's a different atmosphere
Yeah.
than when you're in a theater with like 3 other people watching a movie that, you know,
That's
is
true.
supposed to be, you know, like a fun, you know, sort of thing like that. And yeah, I don't know, maybe that's something to do with you
Yeah,
know,
but
how
it-
we're like, oh, this wasn't that
It still doesn't
funny,
really change the
kinda-
quality
I
of
don't
the
know.
joke.
No, it doesn't change the quality, but
I mean, just because you know, like 8 other people are laughing at a dick shot, and then you want to
Yeah.
laugh because it's it's funny. Got hit. in the
sometimes
dick.
that can be irritating instead of funny.
Well, no,
So-
but it's funny that a guy got hit in the dick and you want to laugh. But sometimes you're just laughing at the people who are
Yeah, that's
busted,
true.
Yeah.
losing their mind
Yeah,
because
that's
some guy
true.
got hit in the dick.
Yeah.
And it's more funny that they're laughing than it is that the movie happened.
Yeah. It was just an observation I had where I was like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe seeing this like at a midnight showing or something where there's a bunch of people, maybe would have been a little more
Probably been more
exciting
people at
or
a midnight
energetic,
showing.
and maybe I wouldn't have been as tired.
I get that. Yeah.
So,
But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was tonally different.
Yeah, totally different. Which I appreciate. I really didn't want them to rehash everything exactly the same as they did
And I
last.
think after the second
I think
movie,
that was
after the second movie they knew they couldn't get
Yeah,
away
they
with
knew
it.
they
Yeah,
couldn't get
that's-
away with that.
I think that's pretty much the common thought is,
Mhm.
you know, oh man, this is the same movie again. But, you know, yeah, it was nice to see the change.
Few of the same jokes being rehashed. And
It had a lot of changes.
Ding! So,
Mark it off.
mark it off on your resistant
Yeah.
boredom bingo sheet. David Bowie reference.
David Bowie.
So, is that all you had to say?
That's about it. Yeah.
Okay,
You
moving on.
All right.
That's illegal.
So, kind of the trailer. Then, I watching the trailers and the commercials and whatever else. I actually had the idea the premise was completely different than what we saw.
They didn't give a lot away in the trailer,
They
Which is
didn't.
good.
which is good. I mean, I enjoyed it.
it was mainly the beginning.
And kind of following the
I
same
knew a giraffe was
formula.
involved.
You know, like from the first movie or whatever else, how, Doug's father-in-law, oh, hey, it's Vegas. For some reason, I assume, and then, the commercial lead on that, that he does pass away. And I figured for some reason either they'd take his ashes or something like that, they would have to go back to Vegas to do something with The Old Man's Remains.
It's not due date.
Anyway, I didn't see that movie. So
Don't worry,
That's
no
Todd
one
Phillips
knows.
movie.
Sorry.
So that's when I forgot.
So
That's
that's
when I
kind of initially what I kind of thought the direction the movie was going to go. But then actually watching it, it went completely different direction. Then it's like, oh, all right. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I loved the first 5 minutes.
Really? Just the first 5 minutes?
The first,
Well, the first 5 minutes were pretty hilarious.
that was
Are
great.
you just
It was
talking
very
about the
sad
giraffe?
for me.
Is that-
as a
Giraffe.
giraffe.
Yes, the laughter
That's
brought me to
bullshit.
tears.
Really? I
I
didn't
did.
think it was that funny.
I
I thought it
thought-
was funny, but I thought it was funnier when I saw it in the trailer, like about 4 months ago.
And when I saw the trailer, I'm like, I saw
This is
kept
kinda
seeing the
spoiler.
commercial.
Yeah.
I kept seeing the commercial, and I'm like, oh, I hope when that part comes up in the movie, I hope it doesn't ruin it for me. And I saw it, and saw them going towards the bridge, and I'm like, oh, like, then
It did get a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know?
then the events that took
They can't
place,
show the trailer. You know?
then what took place afterward, that made up for it. I'm like, all right, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, has a little roll. It was great.
No, I guess that's the thing. Like no spoiler, but the trailer, you knew the giraffe was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
hit the thing, and it happens right in the beginning of the movie, and
Yeah.
you're like, I know it happens.
Yeah.
But it did like the escalation from that. I think because they showed it in the trailer so much, did kind of play
Break
forward.
it down.
That like I know it's gonna hit it. Yeah, it's gonna die.
And then he makes a face like.
But then like the whole thing like afterwards was just like that's funny because I didn't know that was gonna happen. I knew it was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
I
We
didn't
know,
know
yeah,
that.
we knew that he was gonna hit his head on the bridge, but we didn't know that
Poor guy.
Rest in peace.
Okay.
Long
what
slender
was gonna
necks.
come up
What else?
afterwards.
Majestic
The mess- the-
creatures.
the-
Alright.
Tall people.
But
We know the
majestic
massacre was
creatures.
gonna happen.
I'm chiming in now.
Massacre.
What else? We
What
don't
else?
talk about giraffe for 5 minutes.
I do.
Nice. Like I said, it did kind of draw everything together, whatever else. You didn't really need to see the Hangover 2 to draw everything together.
You didn't really need to say Hangover 2 ever.
I never saw it.
True. I kind of brought her up to speed, I think,
I was
once.
gonna ask you that too.
What, if I saw Hangover
Yeah.
2? I actually did. I saw it was on, like, HBO or Showtime.
Oh, you did.
So yeah, I made sure I DVR'd it
I've seen
and
it.
watched it.
And
I wasn't all that
it's
impressed,
amazing.
but it was an HD and
That's
it
alright,
looked
no one
pretty on
else
the
was.
TV, so
The thumbs up wasn't for you.
1080p.
Oh, good. You saw the movie. It was fantastic. It was like at least you kind of saw the movie to kind of.
no, I know. So I
Yeah.
mean, I know
Okay.
I know what happens. I know it's like, oh,
Okay.
why he needed to escape from prison because he was in prison in Bangkok, Mr.
Yeah.
Chow,
Okay.
and then having John Goodman and whatever else.
Yeah, John Goodman was really good.
Yeah.
John Goodman's always good.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
is,
It's
yeah.
true.
Feels
He is.
good, man.
But he was a good addition.
It is.
He was.
Also, too, I was actually kind of surprised that there was actually more Doug in this. He kind of was actually part of it, even though he was kidnapped or whatever else. He was there. He wasn't drugged.
He
or
was
backed
on
up.
screen.
He was on screen. He was with them,
And he was still on screen.
For like the first quarter of the movie. He was very on
I don't know
screen.
if I go quarter.
No, that was a slow start.
He was on there.
It
for
was a slow
quarter.
start. This wasn't that long of a movie, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
He, like I said, he
Yeah,
got his screen time in or whatever else, and they were trying to have intervention or whatever else, and then get run off the road, and then he's kidnapped, and we have Doug and Black Doug. They were kind of together. I think they actually got to meet one another.
Spoiler skip to this time stamp.
Yeah, I liked the bringing back the Black Doug thing, and when I saw
I
Mike
missed
Epps,
Black Dog.
I saw
I didn't
Mike
know I
Epps
missed
in
Black
the,
Dog until I saw Black Dog.
when I saw Mike
And then
Epps
I
in the
realized
credits,
he
I went,
being
oh,
called
we're getting
Black
Black Doug again. So
Like that.
kind of ruins it for me because you guys call me the human IMDb, so it sucks when I get reveals ruined for me in credits. But anyway,
Why? What's his name again?
Mike Epps.
Why are you
Oh,
looking at?
Is
the
he
fucking
related to
IMDb?
Omar?
Yeah,
Maybe.
is he?
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know.
Anyway, Richard.
Me.
Is he at least a cousin?
Information
I believe
station.
that.
Richard.
I don't know really. I don't think I have much else. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It brought everything together. Stay for the credits.
I get the feeling Richard might be the most
Okay.
positive on this movie of all of us.
I very well might be.
Wolfpack.
Does anyone disagree with that so
What?
far?
No.
What we heard? Richard is
Close
probably the
to
most
it.
positive. You think so?
Close to positive.
I don't think anyone's
Like
been
he
terrible.
I think
Maybe our review wasn't as good.
I
but, you
think
know.
I heard Richard laughing in the theater more than anyone else, and he was way down the road from me. So
I was next to him. I know he laughed a lot.
Yeah.
He was having
Yeah,
a good time.
He was.
So
Okay,
that's what we wanted to do today. was
Yeah.
For Richard to laugh at movies.
That's it.
That is true.
okay.
I don't think really think we've seen like the comedy at this.
No, No, which
This
was
year.
nice.
No, we saw G.I. Joe.
I thought that was
That
more
didn't make me
tragedy.
laugh.
It was a Greek comedy.
That makes sense.
Oh, Homer. Dope. Alright.
Every time we got bad talk G.I. Joe now in this. Is that weird?
Well, it's terrible.
What did you think, Kristen?
Alright, what did I think? Well, I saw the first one after a lot of hype, so I was kind of let down, to be honest. I wasn't the biggest fan of The Hangover. But when I watched it again, you know, I could see the humor in it. I thought it was funny the second time I saw it.
So you can Hangover 2.
No, I haven't seen Hangover 2, but I know, like...
But you watched the first
Well,
one
you
twice, which is
kinda-
basically the same.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
You kind of did.
I know some of the plot, you know, what happens, tattoo on the face.
Well, that was all in the
Sleeping with
trailers. So.
With the
Yeah.
she...
It was
Male
missing
or
Mike
whatever.
Tyson.
Anyways, it was. I thought the third
No.
movie did miss
It
Mike
wasn't
Tyson.
really.
Because Mike Tyson in the second one really seemed forced in there and didn't make
Don't
much
get me
sense.
wrong,
It
I was
stupid.
waiting.
Yeah, me too.
Because I knew it
For
was
Mike
gonna
Tyson
happen.
in this one?
Yes, I knew it was
You know what I was waiting for too?
His
I
name
thought he was
his
going to
name
own the
wasn't in the
house.
credits.
Yeah, I thought you did too. Yeah.
Well, I didn't look up the credits.
I thought the movie was okay. I thought, you know, it gave me a few laughs. But I thought it kind of took itself too seriously.
I can see
I
that.
don't know, like with the serious music and we
Oh.
have to go find this guy, and we have to go to.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is supposed to be a comedy, right? You know.
Yeah, they used to have upbeat music for the movies as I
Or like fun music. I mean, I appreciated like the Hurt
Yeah.
tie-in. That was pretty clever and funny. And
One of my favorite songs when I was 17.
hey, that's a good song.
Not by
It's a good song.
not by Johnny Cash though, but by
I-
Nine Inch Nails.
Both of
I
them.
know,
I
Nine
like
Inch
both
Nails, I-
versions. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, I like
Ken,
both versions too.
Ken Jeong was doing a very Johnny Cash.
I actually
Yes,
didn't mind
but-
Ken Jeong's version either.
No, it's a good song either way. But
It plays the Nine Inch Nails version. Why did you be like, I'm not talking about Johnny Cash version. They used the Nine Inch. Oh my god.
I thought that's the way Ken Jeong was doing it.
Yeah, he was doing
yeah,
more
but
of the Johnny
they
Cash.
did use
Exactly.
the
I thought
Nine
he
Inch
was doing
Nails
it.
version.
Wow.
Okay.
Here's the
But
thing we need
anyways-
to talk about.
Go on,
Yeah.
Kristen.
I thought, I don't know, I was a little disappointed by the end. It kind of was just like, I would rather like see them partying at the wedding or something.
You know, that actually was something I was kind of waiting
And,
for too a little bit.
You know, I thought that, yeah, like the first movie, you know, they partied at the end and then you would see that credits part where I'm assuming it was like the honeymoon or God knows what. Which
It
was
after the
funny.
wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the wedding. I actually enjoyed Melissa McCarthy.
I didn't think she had enough to do.
I thought it was nice, you know.
And she wasn't shitting in a sink.
Yes,
So it's not
that's how
that
it's
funny.
good. No.
Josh obviously hasn't seen Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, okay.
Not sober, at least.
Not
that, I really enjoyed Bridesmaids, but it's chick.
I think aside from that
Yeah.
scene, Bridesmaids isn't that great, but
And
yeah.
I saw it with a bunch of friends and we just had a really good time with it. But with this movie, you know, I got a few laughs. I thought it was okay. I thought it took itself too seriously. And I was a little disappointed by the ending. Credits, you know, that was pretty funny and, you know, they tied things up, so I guess it did what it wanted to do. That's all I really have to say.
Alright.
I guess kind of go though with the more with the ending though too. Like I said, as there's another wedding in the movie, folks. You know.
Spoiler
it's like,
alert, Richard. Jeez.
oh
no.
Really?
no, I expected there to be a little
Wait,
more with that than just kind of standing in a hall.
Yeah, just
There's
standing,
only
walking
one
down the
person
hall and
left.
like
I kind of you know.
Yes.
As your camera flares and then all of a sudden they pan to credits. I'm like, oh, I kind of expected there to be a little.
It was an awkward cut to credits. I'll give you that.
There was. I felt there should have been a little more at the end there,
tie it up a little bit.
or tie it up a little bit, or give it potential for a different story, or a little more interaction for the new character to the wolf pack. But
It's
not
true, we didn't
so.
see a lot of interaction with Melissa McCarthy's character
No.
with the rest of the, you know.
Yeah.
How she ties in with the
So-
other wives and whatever else.
Yeah, any of that
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Really?
Because I could see her being,
I would figure how that would
being
go.
very Alan-esque with the other wives or whatever else,
I guess.
be exactly the same thing. Just
I really
like
didn't think any of the wives had anything.
All the
really
wives
to
are
do with this
usually
movie.
the wives are usually the straight character in these movies. Like
Yeah.
they're the not
Yeah, but
not
she.
taking the shit. You know, like
she
Yeah, it's kind of like I remember my father telling me I was his favorite child. What? Yeah, I'll deal. Yeah.
She
Gets-
seems
gets
a
us
little
driving
different
scene again.
though.
I like the shot scenes.
Every time.
I don't think she'd be that serious. But anyway.
No, she wouldn't. She would be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh.
Okay,
Hi. Yes.
closing us out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, to start, I'll just start with the what's her name, Melissa.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't think she had any. I don't know why she was in the credits, like the main credits, because and all the
She's a
mo-
big name.
but like all
Now.
the females in this movie, they don't really. They're there, and then they kind of are shoved off to the side, and then you focus on what the guys are doing.
Oh yeah.
Are they
it's-
great?
it's-
It's the American
it's
girls.
not a strong.
But I mean, like in the
Female.
main title things, like she did get like she was there. She was like after the guys, like her and stuff. I'm like, really? They're more like bit parts, to be fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, to the actual movie review. Like I've been saying, it's tonally different from the first two movies, and I thought that was kind of like a bold step because it did kind of it airplaned itself, like Airplane 2, which everyone should have seen because everybody loves Airplane because it's like one of the best comedies ever.
Yeah.
And then you have Airplane 2, which is Airplane, but now they're on a plane to space, but it's the exact same jokes, everything's the same,
But with shit.
but with William Shatner and it's in space.
Hey, I liked Airplane too.
Well, of course, because it's Airplane 1. You can't say it's a terrible. You can say it's a bad movie because it's literally just the first Airplane, but you can't say it's a bad movie because Airplane is so great. You could chastise it
Well-
for literally doing the exact same jokes over again.
But they did it.
But people
better.
say Hangover 2 is bad when it's the same thing as Hangover 1, and most people like Hangover 1.
And I picked a hell of a day to quit
Yeah.
sniffing glue.
Exactly. But Airplane comes from a different time.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
basically.
A time where they can remake the same
where
movie
are
was
you
so
going with
hilarious.
this airplane talk?
I just want to say like that's what
You just
Hangover.
want to bring up airplane?
Hangover and Hangover 2
Okay,
were
okay,
basically
okay.
Airplane and Airplane 2. Same thing, but presented in a different scenario.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, Bangkok, Airplane going to
Right.
Chicago, I
Yeah.
think it was,
I don't remember.
to go into the
Wait,
movie.
I think I know where you're going.
No, you
They
don't.
need the Airplane 3.
No, I don't want them to make it.
Yeah, I don't want to see Airplane.
There's no Leslie Nielsen anymore. I don't
Yeah.
want
Oh,
to.
yeah,
Exactly.
God, he's dead.
Yeah.
Or,
But no, Hangover
That is
3, like
shitty.
I was expecting a little, like, I had low expectations. I figured it was just gonna be their stuff. But then, like, this movie was, as everyone's saying, or you guys were like, it took itself a little bit more seriously. And I thought that was kind of like a bold step for the movie to do because it was totally different. It was like a more serious, like you have Alan who's having problems. You got you got a scenario that's like people are getting executed and shit like that. I mean, it seemed more of like a caper movie, like with jokes in it. It seemed
Yeah.
just like a completely different kind of movie from like the last two, or just as I'll refer to now, the last one.
you gotta sneak into places and things like that.
Yeah, it was like the first movie was just like a bunch
One
of
part.
drunken jokes and like, oh, what's going on? Oh, my teeth's missing. And oh, I married a whore, and like everything's like crazy and shit
We
like
have a
that.
baby.
This one, there wasn't a lot of that. There were some jokes in there, but mostly it was just like they kind of all seemed like the straight men reacting to an insane situation, but still kind of making jokes
I
against
kinda
each
got
other.
that.
But there weren't just like outrageous situations happening to them. Every once in a while there was, but it was less outrageousness, more just them reacting to things. And I thought that was kind of like a interesting way to take the movie because, after the second one, I don't know if it tanked. I know critically.
No, the second one made a lot of money.
I know the second one critically was destroyed.
Yeah,
because-
critically it was not well received.
So I figured like with this one, I'm like, well, what are they gonna do? And I think they just kind of really tried
You
to
know what though?
mix it up to redeem themselves. It doesn't mean they're gonna do great
This
at the
one
box
was-
office.
Yeah,
This-
this
no, no, no.
one,
This-
yeah.
This one was not well received by the critics, like probably worse. I think I had a 21% tomato rating when I looked. Oh yeah, and by the way, Fast 6 has like a 70-something percent.
Of course.
So-
Okay. You
So
gotta
that's
stop- you gotta
Just
stop.
nudging that one
We
in
saw
there.
the movie, it happened, stop bitching.
I wanted to see Hangover 3, I just probably would prefer.
Exactly,
That's
bitching.
all.
Whatever.
Richard wanted to go see
Birthday.
Movie Friends
birthday.
Birthday.
Hashtag birthday.
I don't know, I'm not gonna fist you, but I'm gonna choose you.
All right, maybe you should
No,
not.
if I had an explosion there, we're
You're not
gonna
gonna drink when you cheers, son of a bitch.
If I had an explosion there, we're gonna seem like we're ripping off Totally Rad show, so we can't do that. Just don't act
All right.
like there's an explosion.
We'll do a poof.
I just didn't want to get fisted
Yeah.
in front of you.
Here you go.
Pound it.
No. Anyway, but and I didn't hate the movie. I didn't like it. Was a good movie. It wasn't what I was expecting. I'm not totally against it. It was interesting. It was a good way to wrap it up. Like they tied a lot of stuff in from the
You
first
think so?
movie. Yeah, no, they.
I mean, like the
Well,
ending.
the beginning, the
I
very
think
beginning.
the ending is closure enough where you're like, oh, they definitely could never do a sequel. To
No,
this.
they could do a sequel, but
Yeah.
I feel like they know they
That's-
can't,
yeah.
and I don't think they will.
Yeah.
And
I
they just
don't-
kind of threw it in there to be like, and the journey continues, that sort of shit. Not that they're going to make
Yeah.
another sequel. It's just I thought all in all this was a good because you can't really do much more with the characters.
In 30 years from now, we're gonna see them in an old folks home. Doing
But like I
crazy
said, you
shit.
That
can't-
movie comes out in September.
You can't really
Yeah, that's Vegas.
shush. But you can't really do much more with the
I wanna
characters.
see.
A lot has been explored. They've come full circle. Everything's kind of there. They don't need to make any more movies. I don't think they should. I'm pretty sure they know they shouldn't make any more movies. And
Yeah.
I'm happy with the way the series ended. I thought like this one was kind of like a pretty. It was a different take on the Hangover movies as general, and I'll give them points. I'll give them points for doing something different for the third movie.
Okay.
Which I guess maybe I shouldn't give them points because they didn't do anything different for the second movie. Like, it's kind of, like, that's where I'm kind of tied up. Like they did something way
The
different,
important thing here is they tried.
but they did. And they
It was
tried.
it was a valiant effort.
I don't think they failed in their task. I think they did an admirable job.
I think
They
this
did
is where,
I'll
this
give
is
them a
where I
silver
think that
star.
differed.
Like I'll give them a silver star for effort, for trying. They didn't fuck it up. They didn't make a completely not funny movie. Like I was laughing at it. There were some good jokes in there. I had a good time watching it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not gonna like go home and get the DVD when it comes out or anything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
But I wasn't against the movie. I don't think it was like a waste of time. It wasn't like G.I. Joe bad. It wasn't. It wasn't like.
No one's saying that.
Yeah, I'm just saying like, you know what?
Maybe more
Good
Hansel
job,
and Gretel
guys.
bad.
I didn't think.
I know. I was.
I didn't.
I'm just saying like I
This-
thought for the
okay.
way they went out for what they did.
And he's backing up.
They're just like, all right, silver.
Just letting you guys
I give them the silver star. Tell them like, good job. You know what? You entertained me at least 2 out of 3 of these movies. Thank you for your contribution, Zach Galifianakis' beard's really like just I don't like his beard.
Did anyone think
Really?
that with the
Excellent
glasses,
guy.
I'm probably
when he
Excellent
wears the
guy.
glasses, he looks just like
Katie Lang.
No, what was Andy Kaufman's character that looks like Rocky Rococo? What the fuck was his name? I'm blanking on his name.
Tony.
Shalhoub.
No.
No, I can't think of his name.
What was he in?
Information.
No, he was
No, he was a
it
character that
Andy
Andy
Kaufman.
Kaufman
He did all his
created.
stuff.
And he made a bearded guy.
Tony.
Yeah,
It
he was
wasn't
like
beard,
a
it was a
lounge
mustache.
singer. He was a
It
lounge
was just a
singer.
mustache.
It was his
yeah.
mustache,
Oh,
wasn't it?
God.
Something about him though in this movie when he
Tony
was wearing the
something.
glasses. Yeah, I can't think of it either. This is terrible.
Richard in the information station.
I'm
Andy
trying-
Kaufman fans are like killing us right
Yeah.
now.
They
Yeah,
don't think those
anyways.
exist anymore.
Oh, I think they do. But anyways, listening to what we've been saying though, to quick wrap it up, I kind of feel like I'm the most negative person about this movie. And I didn't hate this movie. So for real quick wrap up for me, I didn't really hate this movie. I thought it was okay. I thought they made a valiant effort at doing something different and something interesting. It just didn't work to me. And I think that this is, to me, a franchise that now it is over. Looking back at it, they should have just stopped after the first one. I didn't feel the need for this movie. I didn't feel the need for the second movie. None of this was worth the effort. I know they did it to make money. I know it wasn't like they went into the first one and said, we're going to make 3 of these. No, that's not what they
Right.
were thinking. It was a money grab. I understand that by whoever makes this. I don't remember who the company makes this.
Blue or green hat.
No, but the studio.
Warner
I
Brothers.
think it's like, is it Warner? It might be Warner.
Warner Brothers knows the legendary.
Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
whoever does
Okay.
it, I understand it's a cash grab because the first one came out of nowhere to make a
I
ton
don't
of money.
remember the title sequence.
But I really don't think this movie was needed, and I will not buy this movie. I have Hangover 1, and I'm fine with that. I don't need
Yeah.
any sequels.
If you're gonna watch any of the 3 movies,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
need any of the sequels.
probably start at the
and-
beginning and then stop.
So is that the consensus then? This was an
Yeah.
unneeded movie, but
Well, the
kind
second
of
one,
entertaining?
the second one was an unneeded movie. This one
Yeah.
kind of, I won't say it redeemed it, but
Either of them were
it-
unneeded
it-
movies.
the second one.
I
was-
think this is better than the second one, but marginally. Like,
Yeah.
Not.
No, I wouldn't say
huge.
marginally because the
Not
second one was
marginally.
I'm going with marginally.
They could have
Yeah.
abridged.
If you enjoyed the first one, if you enjoyed the second one, this one just tops
I don't
it
think
off.
this, I don't think
Nobody
the second
enjoyed the
one.
second one.
I don't think the second one is terrible. There are a few
You enjoy
funny
it.
things that happen
Yeah.
in it. Yeah, It's just there are also a lot of
It was
things that are just
entertaining
gross and not funny.
Just
So-
yeah, that's just it. Just watch
They
the
could have
first one.
abridged it and slapped it into the third one, and it just made them 2.
No, I don't.
One
I
and a
don't.
half.
I
This
would have been
movie
fine
could
with
be a
just one.
lot
Yeah.
worse.
That
Is
is-
what
Yes.
I thought of.
Okay.
A lot.
There's a positive spin on
And it
this.
wasn't.
It could have been a lot worse.
It wasn't. It wasn't bad.
So yeah, does anyone else have anything to say wrapping it up? Kind of a mediocre reaction here. Is that what we're getting?
I want to see
I guess that's
Tony.
it.
I want to see Tony Francis is his name.
Yeah, do we ever get an answer on that information station?
Tony Francis.
No, it's not
No,
Tony
it's
Francis.
not
That's
Tony
from Fluent
Francis.
Nash.
I think I found a picture. You're either talking about looking like Rocky or Coco. That's the best picture I could find.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
him.
but
But
what's
what? I don't
up
remember what the. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have a mustache. But for some reason, it reminded me of it.
That's weird. Well then, and that's our review. What did we see? Hangover 3.